everybody. Welcome to TBD Tavern. I am your co-host, the one and Anbu. I am joined by the ever wonderful, ever lovely Poppy Silver.
I am Poppy.
And and welcome to another episode of TBD Tavern. We are discussing, here we go, The Last of Us Season 2. I'm sure, as many of you know, as we're going into this, that clearly there's a lot of dialogue out there about The Last of Us Season 2.
Buddy, there.
I mean, because here's the thing, everybody. The video game was already divisive enough at the time that it was released because there was a lot of controversy regarding Abby and regarding the writing and regarding everything else. And then the show happened and Season 1 was good, and then Part 2 was just what happened, right?
Yeah.
That's the best way I could put it. What happened? Like, where did the top quality writing go from Season 1? I don't want to sugarcoat it. I don't want to pretend like, that we're going into this without having any opinions. It was a mess.
It was a mess.
Bad mess.
It was a terrible mess. It was a horrible mess. I don't even know. Okay, I'll be honest. I'll be transparent. I did not want to watch this. And Moose and I stopped watching on episode 3? Was it episode 3? When Joel dies?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Episode 2. I think that's episode 2.
Moose and I stopped watching on episode 2, and Anbu at the time had not told me, hey, we should do The Last of Us, right? So I was like, I'm just gonna ignore it. Ignore it. But then he brought it up.
Oh, shoot.
And then we had an idea of like me just not watching it, and then Anbu can tell me about it, and then that's how I would suffer. But I did it for you, viewer. I did it for you, tavern member. I said, you know what? What kind of a podcaster would I be? I'm not allowed to hate on something I just feel like I should never have the right to hate on something if I haven't truly reviewed or seen something all the way through. Which is why I even put myself through that horrible romance anime, which I still don't remember the name, which is good. That means my brain's working the way I need it to. So I decided to watch it. And I suffered through this entire series. It was terrible. It was so bad, Anbu. It was so bad.
Yeah.
I'm hurt.
So
I'm hurt.
So here's the thing, chat.
It's
tavern
fine.
people, everybody. I wanted to like this season. I wanted to because as somebody who has played The Last of Us Part 2 and find it and do as cold and as like harsh as the video game was, I really appreciated the writing, what they were trying to do. I appreciated the story and the characters. I liked Abby as a character.
Yeah.
What was that?
Nothing. Go ahead,
What
Daddy
was it?
Anbu. Sorry.
But here's the thing. I'm just gonna call you out, Craig Mazin. Please let Neil Druckmann write the series now. Please step away. You don't know what you're doing with the characters. You don't know what you're doing with Ellie. You don't know what you're doing with what makes The Last of Us 2 really good. You stripped it into something weird that I don't understand. Because here's the thing, everybody. In the video game, Ellie turns into really a monster. There's no clear sugarcoating it. She's on a journey of vengeance. She's angry. She lost the one person who cared about her. She understood why he did what he did and was coming to accept it. And before they could really fix their relationship, it was lost. She lost her father. And we have this whole connection of how Abby was a foil of what Ellie could become, which was the obsession with vengeance and with anger. And then we see how that unfolds and how everything changes. But the show is like, they kept Ellie from season 1 as like a little kid, and then tried to make them older but it doesn't work because they just come off as very immature and as a little kid, and it just didn't work. It didn't feel like this is the Ellie that we needed for season 2, and for the story arc that is supposed to happen, it just became
Yeah.
garbage, and it falls apart so quickly. And my biggest issue, I'm just gonna say this real quick, Silver, and then I'll let you talk, I
It's
promise,
okay. It's okay.
is the first 3 episodes of this series were terribly paced. Because if you're gonna do this whole thing of setting up Jackson, setting up Joel as a complicated man, showing where the fractures of Joel and Ellie's relationship is, and you want to explore this, that's fine. Do it. That's great. But do it in a way that makes sense, and don't just keep us stuck in Jackson for three to 4 episodes to show how why Ellie went on this journey with Dina alone, and with the way that these characters are written, it just feels very. I would have agreed with the choice of not going on this journey with Ellie, based off of the way that she was acting in the aftermath, because it was very clear that if I was thinking about it from a logical perspective, these people were gone. They weren't coming back. They did their mission. I've got to protect the city. The Jackson was destroyed and overrun by the clickers and by the zombies and everything. That should be the focus,
Yeah.
not a vengeance journey. And it it just felt like it was added for no real legitimate reason other than to make it go like, "Brr, Ellie's mad. They're gonna go murder people, and that's it." Just saying.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's just I don't even know where to start. Usually, I I like to talk. Clearly, I I am somewhat narcissistic. That's why I'm a content creator. But I don't even know where to start here, man. Like I am
Yeah.
at a loss for words. You know, it's just
Well,
here's the thing. I'm
with
not a. I want
mm-hmm.
to say I didn't finish playing The Last of Us the first game. I definitely didn't get to play the second one. Um, so I don't know the story as well as Anbu does because of the games. Um, but as an outsider from this universe, I'm going to say that losing Joel so early in the series and the season 2 is terrible. It's like hey, how do I kill this series? This very successful series that came out of season 1. Like how do I murder it? How do I lower the viewage and how do I make myself not possibly direct season 3 or renew a season 3? Ha, I know. Let's kill Pedro Pascal. Let's go ahead and kill Joel right now, right? And then let's go ahead and make all these very cringy um teenager scenes between Abby and Ellie uh with Bella Ramsey looking like a child. Dude, it's just she wasn't
Yeah.
look, man. I was okay with Bella Ramsey at the beginning, season 1, cuz it suited that point of time for Ellie and her age. But I almost feel like we should have recasted uh Ellie's role to a much older not a, I meant to say, by the way, the weird sex scene between, not sex scene, well, yeah, there was a sex scene between Ellie and
Yeah.
I meant to say
Yeah.
Dina, not Abby. But I meant to what I wanted to say was that Abby could have made the actress Caitlin Dever could have made a better older Ellie, and I feel like it would have
Mm-hmm.
made me, the viewer, again, somebody that's outside of the Last of Us universe, feel less cringy. Because man, did I cringe so hard, man. And I consider myself to be a pervert. I'm a weirdo. I understand this. You know, I am the lewd commander. I am an internet lord. And even then, I was like, what is I almost felt like I needed to like check and make sure that my door was locked, that nobody would walk in, but I live by myself. I you know, when I saw the scene between Dina and Ellie, and the fingers too, and you know, It was weird, dude. It was weird. It was so
You want to
weird. I called Anbu and I'm like, what am I watching right now, man? What is happening? What is this?
you you want me to make you feel even more gross about it?
Oh,
You want to feel more worse
well, let
about
me take
it?
a sip of my beer.
You ready for this? Okay. You're gonna need it. Trust me. You'll want it.
You'll want it.
So
Okay, here we go. All right,
yeah.
let me have it, buddy.
Are you ready for
Yeah, I mean
this?
I'm not, but let's do it.
Okay. So everybody here at the tavern, by the way,
Oh God.
grab your beer.
All right, guys,
Please take a drink. You're gonna need
hold on
this.
to your drinks.
So
Uh-huh.
Craig Mazin,
Mm.
in an interview,
Mm-hmm.
said that Dina and Ellie's relationship, as they start their journey for Ellie's revenge, is of like a mother-daughter dynamic. There are parts where Dina acts as the mother and Ellie acts as the daughter, and then Ellie acts as the mother and Dina acts as
This
the
got
daughter.
worse.
And I'm
This
sitting,
got worse.
so like that made it awkward for me
That
because it
was-
was
that
like
got
sitting
worse.
there watching this
That was-
episode, and
this-
Jameen Machine and I are watching, and I'm just
This
like,
is worse.
ugh, why are you? Ugh, no, you don't.
Uh,
Don't let them kiss. Don't let them do this scene where you're like, if you're gonna make it this weird dynamic, then you
Why?
cut out the relationship.
just why?
Don't add it. That doesn't make
really
sense. But
Why?
they did that, and it
I
just
don't
kills
get
me because it doesn't make sense. Because I feel like
does.
in the video game, Dina makes sense with Ellie. There's natural moments that are inferred through like actions and through subtleties and through subtext. And the thing that I like about The Last of Us 2,
God.
the video game,
Yeah.
versus The
Mhm.
Last of Us, the TV show,
Yeah.
is Neil Druckmann knows how to write a scene very well
Does he now?
with saying very little. Yes, not Craig Mazin, Neil Druckmann, who wrote the video game. And the reason why I say this is because one of Neil Druckmann's styles of writing is let me write out the scene that I have, and then let me rewrite it, but cut out everything that I can, but still be able to deliver the same information,
everything.
but through subtle subtext and clues and everything. And the video game is well done as a result of that, but the show doesn't respect the audience. Let's just put it that way. The show thinks you're dumb. You're not going to get the exposition, you're not going to get the symbolism, you're not going to get what's going on. You're sitting there listening going, so you mean to tell me that I have to go into this factory right here where the wolf forces aren't there at all and they've left it completely abandoned, and there's no reason why for them to leave it abandoned, but we should go through there anyway because that's what we need to do to get back to Abby or whatever. And you're like, bro, they left it that way for a reason. You even acknowledge that there's like infected in there, but you sort of like, yep, we should go in there because we don't know how many are in there, but we should do it anyway. And you're like, you're dumb. You're dumb. Don't do this. You're dumb. But we're stuck with that. We're stuck with the knowledge that the writer does not understand how to use subtext and clues and inferencing and assumptions. And it's just the story it's not written very well. It's just not
It really isn't.
it's no. It's hard because at the end of the day, like I really want The Last of Us to succeed because the first season showed us the potential with the proper budget, with a good writing team, with good acting, and with everything else, you could have a good show. Pedro Pascal makes Joel really good. He provides us the like body language, the cues, the ideas of like, why Joel was someone we can relate with. And I agree with you. In the context of the TV show, they did Joel dirty. Like they made it awkward. They had Abby say something like, "Oh, you're so handsome. I wish I didn't have to do this." And you're like, don't say that. I agreed with Joel when he's like, shut the fuck up and get it over with. I was like, I agree with you. Just please shut the fuck up about your exposition of wanting vengeance. Just get it over with. If you're gonna do it, just get it done, please. You're already taking away one of the big parts of the show. Just do it. That's it.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Instead, we get weird. Yeah.
Just and dude, I just don't even know, man. It was so disappointing.
So-
Here's the thing, like season 1, a lot of people tackle this on a sexist side, right? Or even or hating on the LGBTQ because Ellie and Dina have a
Mm-hmm.
relationship. It's not that. We all fell in love with season 1. Like we all fell in love with Bill and what's his name? Bill and
Oh,
oh God, what is his name?
oh shoot. Keep
The
talking.
the
I'll
the
let you know
the
in a
gay
moment.
couple. You know, it was adorable. It was like relationship
Frank,
goal, huh? Frank,
Bill
Frank,
and Frank.
Frank. So that's not true. Like, dude, there was even memes of like, how the hell did The Last of Us make people that don't like gay people like and fall in love with a gay couple? Like, it was the sweetest love story ever. You know, it was not
Yeah,
that.
it's
It was just so bad. Season 2 was so terrible.
yeah.
It was so
So
bad, man. I'm
can I,
sorry to just
Silver?
keep
Can I add
saying.
a few things that?
I just want to apologize really quick.
No,
I'm
no.
I swear I'm trying to give genuine feedback and really talk about this series, but the only
Yeah,
thing that comes out of my mouth and my brain and my heart is so bad. I don't even know how to explain
dude,
it.
it's
I
okay.
don't even know how to explain it. It's so
So
bad.
let me try to fill you in. Let's see if you agree with me on this. Okay, let me throw some comparisons that kill. I think The Last of Us season 2, and why I don't think they should do it until they actually hire a competent writing team. One of the things that bugs me in the show is
Mhm.
they don't really they do this weird thing where instead of Ellie going with Joel in the moment when he gets offed, it's Dina instead. I feel like The Last of Us 2 became less about Ellie like it should have been and more about Dina because the actress for Dina was they loved Dina for whatever reason.
Oh,
They wanted her to be like the main
yeah,
character
right.
and
I did
Ellie
love
they
Isabella
they
though.
dumbed
I did
down.
like Dina a lot, but I
Yeah.
feel like I feel like maybe Dina. Could it be maybe that the actress Isabel Merced is just like a much stronger presence than Bella Ramsey?
It could be. Honestly, I don't mean this is a knock against Bella Ramsey, everybody. For everybody who
Right. We're
defends Bella
not
Ramsey,
trying to knock
I
on Bella
like.
Ramsey. I like Bella Ramsey, but I feel like Isabella Merced might have maybe more experience. Maybe she has more presence. There's just people that have more presence. You know, they just have more
And
gravity to
yeah,
them.
well, I would say it felt like they gave Dina more complexity versus Ellie. And Ellie should be complex. I mean, think about it. You're carrying the guilt of knowing that Joel saved you because he loved you like a daughter, and that's a big part of what is supposed to be for season 2, and it was like one of the few pockets of really good writing for the series because of and I think it's because of Pedro Pascal really sold us on it. Um, but it was just like I don't even know. I just felt like they failed. They wanted to make here. Okay, I think I figured it out. Let me put it this way: they tried to make Ellie too like human. I think in a story where she needed to be cold and angry and vengeful, and I say that because it came off as like she doesn't like she's just angry. She's not really wanting to do what she's saying. She's just blowing hot air. But like in the video game, she's clear set on like she wants to get everyone in that group that murdered Joel. She does not care.
Yeah.
Everyone deserves to die
Yeah.
to her. And with the way that they wrote Ellie for Bella Ramsey, it really came off as childish. You know, like as a kid, you know, like how when a kid goes like, "I hate everybody; they all should die."
Yeah.
That's how it felt like. And
Yeah.
in the game, it's different. And so the moment where in episode 7, I think, when Mel, the lady who is pregnant, dies, and Ellie is like traumatized by that, it's more profound in the video game because of how Ellie is just murdering everybody with no guilt. But now here's a baby that's going to die as a result of her choice of vengeance. And so it's this idea of realizing that violence only begets violence
Right.
and that, like, she realizes that she's become a monster because now she's taken the parent of someone who deserves to know their parents. She's given, like, that baby's gonna die, they're not gonna come to life, but like there's a whole realization that she's maybe going too far because she's willing to sacrifice innocent lives
Yeah.
for it. But in the show, it's more like she's so hesitant on a lot of it that when she tries to be cold and calculating, it's jarring and it doesn't make sense.
Yep.
And so there's a lot of inconsistency. And so even in that moment with Mel and Omar, when she does kill her and Mel's like, please deliver my baby, I don't want it to die, I just don't think it was the same. It didn't carry the same weight.
And I think
I think that's the
I
problem.
think you said it
right
there. The thing is, they rewrote Ellie to suit Bella Ramsey. And again, not a knock at Bella Ramsey. It's just that her range as an actress or actor, because I know they're they them. I don't even know how would you say that. Whatever. Anyways,
Just say actor.
as a
It's fine.
professional, their range is not that. And that's fine. Basketball players are basketball players. Football players are football players. Soccer players are soccer players, right? Bella Ramsey's range is not that. And that's okay why are people so afraid? Why are people so afraid of hurting people? The thing is, I get that Bella Ramsey, it represents this generation's youth, or to a point, young people's, or you know, but it's okay to say, hey, you know what? Bella Ramsey wasn't maybe the best Ellie for this. She was the best Ellie for season 1, but maybe we needed Caitlin Dever for Ellie here, because I feel like Caitlin Dever could have embodied a much beast, like a much more evil, a much more angry Ellie. Because here's the thing, when we have the episode where Bella and Pedro are for her birth, like the birthday scenes, and she and Joel takes her to the museum and takes her into the space capsule and everything. Dude, she's a kid, and she honestly, that was the part where Bella like shined, because her character that her range that she embodies, it played out fantastic for those scenes because they needed her to be a kid, and she did a great job there. I was like, oh wow, what? I was like, okay, this is where the season turns around, and I for a second I was like, hey, this looks. I was like, okay, all right, so maybe the season's kind of started rough. Maybe here's where we pick it up. But no, what do? We put her again in another weird scene where like she takes off her shirt to get like her wounds cleaned by Dina. And that's so awkward to watch for me, because it's like I just saw Bella Ramsey being a child, and putting on this astronaut helmet, listening to this music, and just being filled with glee as a child with her dad. And now I'm seeing this very fake grown up, she just doesn't have the range for that, man. I'm sorry, but just respectfully, Bella Ramsey does not have that sort of likeliness, or she's not like, here's the thing, you wouldn't put let me give you an example. You wouldn't put, let's grab one of these actors from here, Gabriel Luna, right? Tommy, you wouldn't make him play the role of Black Widow, right? Why would we? He wouldn't make a good Black Widow. One, he's a man. Two, I mean, he's not Black Widow. He doesn't look like a Black Widow, right? Or let's put Gabriel Luna as Iron Man. Do you think that Gabriel Luna has the range that what's his name, RBJ has?
Robert Downey Jr.?
Yeah. Do you think that they have the same personality? Do you think he would have made a good Iron Man? Or let's put Gabriel Luna as like Captain America. Do you think he'd be better? Not really. Don't lie to yourself, man. Come on. I know you're. Let's be honest. Come on.
I'm gonna no
No,
no
you wouldn't.
but
You would not. If you were a
here's
cast, if you were
here's the thing.
casting, you wouldn't had Gabriel Luna for those characters. So the answer
I mean, in those
for the Last
situations,
of
I
Us was
agree.
let's rewrite Captain America to suit Gabriel Luna, but then now you don't have Captain America. You have Gabriel Luna in a modified version of the Captain America from Universe 35. That's not the Captain America that we know.
But okay, but here's the thing though, and I'm going to say this. I'm not sure I'm at where you're at with the thought process. Like I agree with you on what the examples you used, but I don't think Craig Mazin really gave material that was complex enough for Bella Ramsey to explore. I'm not saying
If
that
he
like
did, she wouldn't have been
I
able to
mean
reach it. They had to modify Ellie to suit Bella Ramsey.
I
That's
don't
so obvious in this
I don't
season.
know because no, because here's the thing. In the moment when Joel has to shoot Eugene, right? This is one of those moments where it's referenced in the first episode where he's talking to Gail, who hates his guts, but she's acting as his therapist because he's trying to talk to
Yeah,
her
yeah,
about his
yeah,
guilt with
yeah, yeah.
Ellie and everything, and she's like calling him out saying, "Fuck you for lying because I know how you lie because I've seen this before." I remember the moment when Joel is lying to Gail saying your husband died bravely. He was like, he didn't fight. He was like courageous. He was strong. He wanted to tell you that he loved you and he just didn't want you to see him like this. And the moment when she's like, you lied
Yeah.
and was calling him out being like, he wasn't like this. He was scared. He was afraid. Bella, they did a good job.
Yeah,
That was a
because
moment where I
Bella
think they
was
did a good
being a
job.
child. That's the thing. What I'm trying to get you
But
to
the
understand
moment
is that Bella Ramsey excels at being a kid, not a teenager or even an adult. Like she just doesn't, and that's why she did such a great job there. Because that's a response from a child. A child will be like, "You
but
promised me this, right?" What kids hold promises very holy. If right, like I don't know if you have little cousins or whatever. Children to children, it's like a promise is a promise, and if you break it, you break their
but
world, dude. And Joel breaking
I
that
I
promise again
mhm.
reminds us that Ellie there is playing a child role, and Bella Ramsey excels in it because that's what she's good at. Her range is to be able to do a child, and it's great.
I don't. I'm
That's
still
what
on
I
the
think.
fence about that, man. And maybe I'm wrong. Internet, you can bash me as much as you want. I'm
Comment.
still
Tell us
believing
what you guys
that.
think.
Yeah, I do believe if Neil Druckmann wrote the story, I think it could maybe it wouldn't be at the level that I would want it to be, like with Ashley Johnson with Ellie. But I do think Bella would be given a lot more credit than what they're given currently.
I,
Caitlin
yeah.
Dever definitely, I think, would have been a great. I'm gonna say this.
Mm.
Caitlin Dever was pegged originally to be Ellie before Bella Ramsey. In fact, they had it worked out to where I think she was going to be Ellie, but something happened to where it didn't happen, and then or I think they weren't going to make the show just yet. And then when it came time to make the first season, then Caitlin Dever was aged out. And I'm glad that Caitlin Dever is Abby because she embodied Abby so well, even to the point to where I am stoked to see how she does as Abby. Like the 30 seconds at the end of episode 7 when she's like angry that Mel and Omar died and she's just like you, the quivering, the trembling, everything. She's really good. I don't think I want to see anybody else as Abby. So, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm going to be hesitant on agreeing with you on that. And maybe that bites me in the butt with season 3 and maybe we make an episode and I go, you were right, Silver. I was wrong. But I'm going to hold off because I just don't think the writing did a lot of service. Even to Pedro Pascal's Joel. I don't feel like there was a lot given to Pedro Pascal except for like episode 6 with him the birthdays and going through how teenagers are and him realizing he never got to go through this with Sarah because she died before she could even be one, and then him realizing what his father meant when he said, "I hope you'll do a little better than me," when he admits to Ellie that he chose her over making a cure for the world because he wanted her to live, because he loved her like a daughter. Like, I this season didn't give a lot of people material that worked. I mean, I even told Jameen Machine in episode 2 that Abby was awkward because of the way that she was written, but Caitlin Dever did really good with what she was given. So that's why I'm kind of just I'm afraid to. I don't know if I can agree with you because I just feel like the writing was too much all over the place.
No, yeah, I mean the writing was terrible for sure, 100%. Um, and we'll see. I don't know. I just that's where I stand, man. Overall, season two
Yeah,
killed it for me. Had we not had to do an episode of the podcast or had a podcast, I would have never. Realistically, I would have never finished watching this. You know,
honestly,
I
I'm
was
sorry I
so
made you do
no
it.
no no. Don't apologize. It's just that like to me it's a shit show. I just fell in love. I guess it's because here's my hate. I just fell in love with season one. Like I fell in love
That's
with
fine.
every
That's I get
single one
that.
of those episodes and the characters. They were all
Hmm.
fantastic and the roles that they played and the story that was going through. It was great. So
Yeah.
season 2 just felt like a slap in the face, man. And again, I'm not hating on the actors. All I'm saying is that the writing was bad and
Hmm.
some of these actors are just not meant to play certain characters, and that's why we have awkward, in my opinion, experiences like we had with Ellie and Dina.
Yeah,
Um that's what
I
I'm
can agree with you on
saying.
that.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, dude, I agree. I mean, at the end of the day, they shouldn't have assumed they're gonna have a season 3 and season 4. I think they should have written season 2 as if they knew that there was likely a chance that there wasn't a season 3, so they could have taken more time to be thoughtful with how they wrote the story and the characters, and understood what they were going with. Or like if they knew that they were doing 3 seasons or 4 seasons, they wrote it with more intention to build a world, right?
Yeah.
I think personally, if you were gonna do a whole thing about Jackson, you should just stay focused on that for the second season, and then build to the eventual moment with Joel. So we get another season with Joel, and then season 3 really lead to like what goes down with Abby and Ellie and everything, and then lead into season 4 with Abby's timeline to where everything converges, and then we get the conclusion. Because the writing just, I agree. I think if I agree with you in saying this, Silver, I don't know if I would want to watch season 3 at this point. I'd rather just play the video game and enjoy that story and knowing where it goes, how it runs. I care more for the script on that one. I care for the characters and the acting. Um, I agree with you. I think
Here's
it killed the momentum for a lot of people.
if I'm being also, here's the thing. I The response to The Last of Us from people, from everyone, including fans of the story of The Last of Us, hasn't been very positive,
Mm-hmm.
man. So I'm
No,
afraid
I agree.
I'm afraid that I actually I feel for Bella Ramsey. Okay, so think what's her name from Ray, the girl that played Ray on Star Wars, uh, episode 7, 8,
Mm.
and 9.
Daisy Ridley.
Ridley's
Daisy Ridley.
career struggled or has struggled or is struggling. Like you don't see her in a
Mm-hmm.
lot of movies, or like is there movies that I just haven't seen her? Like you know,
No, she's been in movies, but it's not as big as you would have thought from
uh
launching from Star Wars.
yeah,
That's true. Even yeah, yeah. Like John Boyega too. I thought he was gonna take off and he never did.
yeah,
Um,
but
I think the only
he got a
person
little self destructive. That guy started
that's
running his mouth a
yeah,
little too hard, and that did
yeah.
not help him at all. But Hayden Christensen is another one that really suffered from these sort of like universes, right?
Yeah.
Everybody hated the episode 2 and 3, and they all hated the prequels, right? It is not until like much
Yeah, the prequel
recently
trilogy.
now that people are like, "Oh man, the prequels were actually really good. We love them." And now Hayden is now getting love from the community, from the Star Wars community. But I mean, at the beginning, they hated the shit out of the guy. Poor guy, dude. They wrecked this artist
Yeah,
his
dude.
career, and I just I'm afraid that this could turn into let's all hate Bella Ramsey and let's not give her anything else again. So, hey,
Dude, no,
Ninja
it
Cat,
already is. Let's
stop.
be real here.
Sorry, Ninja Cat's chewing onto my
I'm
backpack.
gonna be. I'm gonna. No,
Uh huh.
you're all good. So I'll just talk real quick and say this: Bella Ramsey's career has probably already been wrecked, unfortunately, because there's plenty of memes now that make fun of their face in a
Yeah.
lot of scenes. Like I've seen, there's a whole subreddit dedicated to making fun of the moment when Ellie is playing guitar for Dina and
Oh
taking
God.
screenshots of their
Yeah.
face and then making fun of it and turning it into memes, or when
Yeah.
they are there. There's jokes about like when
Yeah.
Ellie's angry and then Bella just looks very whatever. There are a lot of people that I do think unfortunately put the blame on Bella for why the series went downhill, and I do feel for them, and I agree with you, Silver. It's sad to see how much weight an actor can carry for a series, and it's not their fault. There can be a lot of factors out of their control that destroy series, and I hands down believe that the showrunner Craig Mazin didn't know what he was doing, shouldn't have touched the material, and that's what led to the downfall. Really, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't blame Bella Ramsey or any of the
Yeah.
actors
No.
at
Yeah.
all.
I definitely don't blame Bella Ramsey. I feel they could have not done this to
Yeah,
her. You know.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Again, she did a great Bella Ramsey season 1. Fantastic because the again I'm sticking to that. I will die on that hill. She did a great Bella Ramsey.
She
A
did.
good Ellie kid. Season 2 as an
Yeah.
adult Ellie, to me, I'm sorry, at least to me, man, she doesn't have that range. She's just not made for that. Not an adult Ellie. I'm sorry.
But
I'm not gonna you're not
no,
gonna
but
change my mind on that. That one
that's
they should
okay.
have
I'm gonna leave this other
recast it.
comment.
Yeah.
Sorry, man, I
No,
interrupted
no,
you.
no. I'm good. I'm just ranting. Go ahead.
I'll just leave it at this. In my opinion, I think that they tried to keep Ellie season 1 for season 2 and it
Ooh.
backfired.
Yeah.
I don't think they trusted Bella
Yeah.
to try to show range, and instead they wanted to say, "Oh, you should still be the same realistic approach to trauma, all this other stuff." And it's like, "No, you thought for some reason season 1 Ellie should be in season 2, but season 1 Ellie was done with season 1. You should have actually given Bella respect to try to be Ellie as they should have been in season 2." That's why I'm kind of not. That's why I think in the back of my mind, I don't agree with you just yet on that until we see what happens in the future. But in my opinion, at the end of the day, would I recommend anyone to watch the series? I have to say no. And I hate saying that because usually I love saying yes and giving reasons why. I hate saying no to Poppy Pascal. That's a gorgeous man. Why would you not want to see him on screen? But you're not going to get a lot of him. And when you do, they've written him into a one note sad dad character that I feel was a disservice to even Pedro Pascal and Joel. It doesn't hit the same notes as season 1 does. Season 1 was like a shot. What is the phrase where it's like a something in the barrel, flash pan in the barrel or something like that, flash in a barrel, where a flash in a pan, where it was well done. Everybody did great, and season 2 was just what happened.
Yeah, what happened is definitely it. Um yeah, I have nothing else to say, man. I this was as tolling as the the horrible romance anime series for me. I'm not
Yeah.
impressed with anything. Everything the way they went about it, it was bad. It was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, it actually does motivate
Yeah.
me to play and finish the games. But I've been told
You
also
should.
that season 2 season 2. Part 2, Last of Us 2, the game also is kind of bad and had its own controversies from back in the day. So we'll see,
Mm,
I guess.
I would say give it a shot, man, because I think a lot of people. We could talk about this off off the episode because I have my issues with those controversies. But here's the last thing that I'm going to say before we leave. Okay, what I'm worried about with this season of The Last of Us and what's going to happen to future video game adaptations. I mean, think about it. This season, they had a huge budget. They had great actors. They had great production value. Everything that could go superb for a video game adaptation, and they botched it so bad. And I worry that a lot of great stories that could be turned into a TV adaptation are going to get screwed over as a result of this, because you can't ignore the social media shitstorm that's out there right now about The Last of Us Season 2. You just can't. As a studio, as actors, like for Bella Ramsey, like you said, I worry about the mental health toll this is going to take on them for how much hate there is.
You bet. That poor girl, man, honestly, because I mean, seeing again all the actors that we mentioned and the stuff that they've gone through, granted, those other actors that I mentioned, they're adults. So they at least they're adults, and they can maybe power through the whole social media and the news and everybody just hating on them. But this is a girl. This is a kid, man. She's only 21, dude. She's a kid. You know, I don't know, man. I feel for her. Hopefully she is able to power through it. Hopefully she's able to go ahead.
I really hope that they don't see their career suffer. They don't deserve it. I think they just need to step away from social media for a little bit, take some time, you know, maybe
Agreed.
I don't know, if take some, I mean, as a fellow actor, take more classes. There's always more to learn.
Maybe,
work on yourself, work on your skills. You're still 21. Take your time. Enjoy life. Enjoy what you can do and come back and prove everybody wrong. But just, you know, just take some time for yourself. They don't deserve to lose their career.
Just because you're in the big screen now, it doesn't mean that you're like a master of the craft. Like, yeah, you shouldn't take it like that. You know, she's okay. So she peaked. She was in Game of Thrones. She's been in a bunch of other films. She's done voice acting, but you know, it's only been like in a span of like 7 years.
7? Yeah.
7 years. Yeah.
Been out there?
You know, and there's just more range than what she's played out. Because I feel like out of what I'm seeing here or on her IMDb, her range is usually a kid. It's like a child's role, and that shouldn't surprise us that that's all she's been able to give us right now on season 2. And that's why it wasn't to me. Again, I'm sorry I keep on bringing this in home, but that's why
it's okay.
Season 2, Ellie did not look good, because that's Bella Ramsey's background and history, is the type of role that she's always played. It's always been the same age group.
And that's okay to have. And that's okay to feel that way. I totally get it, dude. I'm not gonna keep being like you're wrong.
You're wrong.
Like, I completely
okay.
understand.
It's okay to tell me that I'm wrong. I'm not an actor. That's not my world. That's your world. What's up? Oh, sorry.
Wow. Okay. Well, anyway, everybody, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe to us on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. Leave a comment below. Tell us what you think about The Last of Us Season 2. Tell us how you feel about the state of video game adaptations, since we've had quite a lot coming out right now. Let us know what you think. And until then, we will see you. Pay your tabs.
Pay your tabs, because the Ninja Cat already told me that he just killed someone. Rest in peace.
What?
Good night.
Good night. Okay, lead us off, and then I'll just hit stop.
3, 2, 1, stop.